Dr. Nandipha Magudumana has filed an urgent application for the Free State High Court to declare her arrest in Tanzania and deportation to South Africa unlawful. Magudumana was arrested on the 7th of April 2023 alongside escaped convicted murderer and rapist Thabo Bester in Arusha. Now, Bester escaped from the Mangaung Correctional Centre in Bloemfontein in May of last year, a staged suicide which allegedly involved assistance from employees of the facility. Magudumana, who is facing charges that include aiding and abetting a convicted criminal, also wants the court to nullify the criminal charges brought against her and that she immediately be discharged from the arrest. The matter will be heard by the High Court in Bloemfontein on Thursday, the 25th of May. All right, so let's get some analysis on this. We're going to be joined via Zoom by Melusi Xulu. He's the Managing Director at Donda Attorneys. Melusi, good afternoon. Thanks for joining us on the SABC.
Good afternoon, Lizelle, and good afternoon to the viewers at home.
Melusi, perhaps it's an absolute pleasure helping us just understand what's at stake here. Perhaps you could talk to the context of this. Talk to the urgent application filed at the Free State High Court, where Dr. Nandipha Magudumana is now saying the arrest was unlawful. On what basis? Help us understand this.
Okay. Let's look at how she was arrested. She was arrested in Tanzania for illegal immigration. And it turned out that there was a warrant of arrest based on Section 43 of the Criminal Procedure Act in South Africa. Now, the first point of departure is that she was illegal in illegal immigration in Tanzania. And if you look at the Immigration Act of 95, the Tanzanian Immigration Act, it says in Section 14, subsection 2, I believe it's A to C, that if you are illegal in the country or you are a prohibited immigrant, the minister can deport you. So the question is, was she arrested unlawfully by Tanzania? Was she a legal immigrant in Tanzania? And if the answer is no, then she was arrested lawfully in Tanzania. And then it turned out that there was there was a warrant of arrest in South Africa. And that's how she was brought to South Africa, so that she can face the alleged crimes that she committed, amongst them aiding Mr. Bester to escape from prison.
So on the back of that, you seem to suggest that the way Thabo Bester and Dr. Nandipha Magudumana were brought back to South Africa has some legal implications. And I wonder, on the back of this urgent application that has been filed at the Free State High Court, how likely is the application to succeed?
I don't think it will succeed if they can't prove that when the Tanzanian officials arrested her as an illegal immigrant, if it can't prove that that was an unlawful arrest, it can't be successful, because the arrest, as far as she is concerned, when she was in Tanzania, she was illegal in the country and she was using an invalid passport. This makes it even worse. So I don't think it will succeed based on that. And the other thing that I'm not seeing, although I did not read the papers, I wish I could have read them, but I'm not seeing them challenging the warrant of arrest itself, because the warrant of arrest is based on three things. If you read the Criminal Procedure Act, 1, it must set out an offense. 2, the magistrate that is making that warrant of arrest must, although that is issuing the warrant of arrest, must have the jurisdiction for that case. And thirdly, it must be that the person for whom the warrant is sought after is the suspect in that case. And in this case, besides assisting Mr. Bester to escape, there are other cases. There's fraud. There's also other cases of bribe and so forth. So the warrant of arrest was issued correctly. So if she challenges that, then she must have a strong case why she's saying it, because the charges still stand as far as the state is concerned.
Because the charges as it stands alludes to aiding and abetting a convicted criminal. I think in lieu of what you've just echoed now, when we were trying to explore the difference between extradition versus deportation route, obviously the deportation route was chosen and it's now had unintended consequences. Time at that point also seemed to be a big factor in bringing both Thabo Bester and Dr. Nandipha Magudumana back to the country. And I just wonder, as we look at the case unfolding, what impact could this urgent application at this point likely have on the case at hand? Will it affect dynamics at all? If so, how?
I think if she succeeds, that is if, a huge if, then obviously she will not continue the case. But there is a possibility that if she says the arrest was unlawful, what if then the state decides to issue another warrant of arrest and she arrested again? Then it could be a process being started all over again. So I honestly don't think she will succeed. But although may I add something different to a bit different, is that if you check, they also say they want her, she wants the states to provide an extradition agreement between Tanzania and South Africa. Now, South Africa has 15 extradition agreements and Tanzania is not one of them. So like you just said, the deportation route was the only route that could be chosen. But I don't see this having a huge impact on the case should she not succeed in court. And should she succeed, I'm sure the state will also ensure that they arrest her again as long as the charges stand. That is the important issue because she can only challenge the charges in trial and she can't challenge him the way she should want to challenge him in high courts or through an urgent application. So I think as it stands right now, I don't see it having a huge impact. I think this defense is being creative, but I don't think this is the right route for them to go. They should be applying for bail, in my opinion, unless there's something technical which I've not seen in the case, but I don't see it succeeding.
Melusi, thank you for helping us understand those dynamics unfolding. I mean, that case is set to be heard on the 25th of May, so we'll obviously get to see what the impact of that is going to be going forward. Thank you for joining us here on the SABC and for your time. Melusi Xulu, Director at Donda Attorneys, weighing in on the back of news coming in just a little earlier on. Dr. Nandipha Magudumana having filed an urgent application at the Free State High Court to declare that her arrest in Tanzania and deportation to South Africa was unlawful. That is a developing story.